Hey everyone, it's Albie. Welcome back to my channel. I have a Trope Tuesday for you today. I want to try to implement more of sort of a Trope Tuesday video on my Tuesday uploads. And I just finished two back-to-back historical romances that featured a working class heroine, and I've read a few other ones, and I thought that this would make a pretty good trope video for everyone. I don't know about you, but I really do enjoy reading about working class heroines and historical romances. Sometimes it can get a little drafty reading about these sort of spoiled, perfect heiresses, and I think it's fun to have romances with a class difference, especially when it's the female and we have sort of the Duke or the Earl or Marquess, etc. I enjoy reading about our heroines' lives and how they work and how they are wooed or come in contact with this genteel man. I think that's fun. So I have, let's see, five historical romances to show you today. The first I'll go over is The Viscount Made Me Do It by Diana Quincy. This is a 6-star read. I absolutely loved it. We have our heroine, Hannah Zayden. She is a bone setter. And to put it sort of in a modern sense, a bone setter is kind of like a chiropractor in the sense that Hannah's job is to help alleviate pains with bones disrupted, sprains and spurs and calluses. She helps to alleviate pain by realigning people's bones and resetting them, aka a bone setter. And she meets our hero Griff on sort of a whim. They meet in a coffee house where she's being accosted by some young men. She decides to sort of play a trick on the men that are trying to play a trick on her. Griff is very impressed by her tenacity, but he notices that she has this sapphire necklace dangling around her neck, and it looks like it is the necklace that belongs to his mother that was murdered a few years prior. So this one does feature a working class heroine. It also has a mystery subplot. This was an excellent book. I absolutely loved it. I loved the first book in this series by Diana Quincy, but The Viscount Made Me Do It. Absolutely great book, 6 stars. The next one I have for you is another one I basically just finished, and that is by Julianne Long, and it's Lady Daring Takes a Lover. So in this book we have Delilah Swanpool, Countess of Daring, and she is a recent widow. And while she's at sort of the banker or estates, a man sort of settling her husband's estates, she meets a woman that's behind her that's also in mourning, that sort of interrupts her meeting with the salesman, the banker, etc. And Mrs. Angelique Breadlove turns out to be the mistress of Lady Daring's late husband. So, some scandals, some problems, but the two decide to set away their differences, and they decide to open an inn, and they call it the Palace of Rogues, or sort of Palace on the Thames. I think it had a few different names. And they open sort of an inn, but it's also like a supper club. It has musicals, it has boarding, but it's not necessarily a boarding house. And so I really like that we have an upper class woman that's sort of fallen from status by becoming a widow, and she's sort of been disgraced by the fact that her husband sort of abused his finances and abused their marriage vows essentially too by having a mistress. But she and her late husband's mistress and Helga, they try to make it work, and they set up this palace for rogues. In the book, we meet our hero, who is Captain Thomas Hardy. So we have a fun juxtaposition of the lady and the rough and grumbly captain of the sea, sort of thing. So I thought that was really fun. So this also sort of had a mystery subplot, but it didn't overshadow or take away anything from the romance. I absolutely love this. You'll notice another common theme with these books is that when the women have a sort of sense of power, or they work or have their own money or make their own money in some sense, they're not just an heiress or a duchess, etc. They're a little more, a little more confident, a little more brassy. So I like that as well. All right, I would sort of be a muck if I didn't mention this book, and this is book 4 in the Bridgerton series, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. Um, this will be season 3 of Netflix, the Netflix show, instead of the book order, which book 3 is my favorite in series. That's An Offer from a Gentleman. It's a Cinderella retelling. But anyway, we'll get back to this one. And this features Penelope Featherington. And to not give too many spoilers away, she is a writer. She has a successful column. And not too many know that she is the author of that successful column. So we have Penelope Bridgerton, we have Penelope Featherington, and Colin Bridgerton. It's definitely friends to lovers. I guess you call it little sisters, best friend romance. It is just really sweet. It's one that you've rooted for to happen for a while, and so it's just a wonderful romance, and to see two characters that you think belong together actually get together is really satisfying as a reader. So we do have our working class, in a way, heroine. I mean, Penelope does have money, but her family isn't the most well off, and she does have a job, so she's technically working. I don't want to give too much away, but I definitely did enjoy Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. All right, this book is another 6-star. It was one of my favorite books from 2021, and this is When You Wish Upon a Duke by Charis Michaels. This is book 2 in the Awakened by a Kiss series. Book 1 is A Duchess a Day, and what I enjoy about this series is they're sort of retellings of fairy tales. So book 1, which is, do they have the picture? They do. A Duchess a Day. That one is a retelling of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And this one, When You Wish Upon a Duke, is a retelling of Peter Pan. Absolutely love this book. So our heroine is Ms. Isabel Tinker, and she's basically like a travel agent. So she works for the sort of nasty and leering Mr. Drummond Hook at the Everland, is it? Yeah, Mayfair's Everland Travel Shop. And she works sort of as a travel agent to help genteel ladies and their daughters sort of go off to Europe and see sights. They help the men figure out where to go and go off to Americas or other exotic places or Italy, and, you know, exciting, fun trips. And while she's there, she meets the Duke. Yeah, it has to be the Duke. Jason North Beckett, the Duke of Northumberland. So he goes by North. And the two have to go on a quest together for some answers. It was just a wonderful, wonderful book. I absolutely loved Isabel Tinker. If you love Tinkerbell, like especially like the Disney cartoon from the 50s, where Tinkerbell, excuse me, is very sassy and assertive, you will love Isabel Tinker. I absolutely loved her. I love just that Tinkerbell, Peter Pan aspect. Peter Pan isn't necessarily the hero in this book. We have North, sort of like the North Star. I believe that's the star from Peter Pan. I haven't watched the movie in a while, but he sort of guides her home to love. And oh, I just love this book so much. I haven't read A Duchess a Day, but it's high on my TBR because I absolutely love this book. And book 3, I believe, is called A Kiss at Midnight. I will try to put that cover around here for you too, so you can keep an eye out for that. It came out, I think, in July. I need to pick that up at some point because I just love this book, and I know I'll love the other books in series. So this is When You Wish Upon a Duke by Charis Michaels. All right, and another, this is a 5-star read, but for me it's really a 6-star. I talk about it all the time. This book is sort of polarizing because a lot of people that are my friends didn't necessarily love it, but I really, really enjoyed it, and that is Bombshell by Sarah MacLean. This is book 1 in the series. I just purchased and hauled book 2, which is Heartbreaker, I believe. I'll put the cover over here for you. But this is Bombshell. This is book 1 in the Hell's Bells series, and I love this book. So we have our heroine, who is Mrs. Lady? She's technically Lady Cecily Talbot. And she is sort of a fallen woman in the sense where something happened to her in her youth that was very scandalous. And because of that scandal, she decided not to be shy and hide away from it. She sort of embraced it, because when you're a woman that's become a fallen woman or had a face of scandal during this time, if you just sort of own it and go with that scandal, you can have a more freeing life, because you don't have to be locked away by these projected rules by society. So because she's not viewed as the genteel lady of the ton, she can sort of get away with more than your typical lady of the ton would have. So in this book, the Hell's Bells are vigilantes, and they're just like kick-ass. Like, they're so awesome. I love them so much. There were so many side characters that were so much fun. That's why I'm excited for book 2. And we had a really fun hero. What was his? Caleb Calhoun. He was sort of a scarred hero. He was very protective of our heroine, and he really embraced that she was a woman of power and substance. He wasn't trying to put her down or anything. He was trying to like uplift her and just say like, wow, you're amazing. So I love that. And a common thread I found with the heroes of all of these books is that they really embrace that their female lady is a working class heroine. There is a great ending to this book where it's just super sweet about should Hannah stop being a bone setter. You know, she doesn't want to give up her practice, and there's just a really sweet instance of that at the end. Don't want to give too much away, but I loved it. And I love that, like I said, our heroes really support our working heroines. So here's my fun list of the tropes or videos. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. Hopefully y'all found this informative or fun. Let me know in the comments below, what is one of your favorite historical romances that featured a working class heroine? I would love to know. I hope y'all had a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon for another video. Bye everyone.